Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another RebelScum.com video review. Today we are reviewing the Black Series Reva the Third Sister Inquisitor. Now, we're not going to get into all of the stuff about the character of Reva too much today. I mean, she was a pretty prominent villain in Obi-Wan. She was very, divisive for fans, you know, because some fans really didn't like Reva, and some fans were like, oh, she's a really good villain. I'm of the opinion of she was a really good villain. She wasn't much of a likable villain, but she was a good villain, especially in the, you know, as a sense of this is not a character you're meant to like. You're not supposed to like Reva. And I think Moses absolutely nailed that when it came to characterizing Reva. And I feel like she was pretty redeemed by the end. I mean, it was good that she was able to finally see past her hatred of Vader, to kind of let go and not become the monster that, or continue to be the monster that she had become, or thought she was becoming. So, pretty cool overall. Again, don't want to get too much into it other than that. I definitely have been looking forward to this figure because I've been looking forward to more Inquisitors, and it's perfect because she's the third sister and she's number 3 in the Obi-Wan Kenobi Black Series line. So really cool there. Kind of interesting that they used the Grand Inquisitor artwork since she was only temporarily Grand Inquisitor. I mean, she wasn't really because the Grand Inquisitor was never dead to begin with. Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. Usually, I guess you're supposed to say that before the spoiler, but yeah, if you haven't watched Kenobi yet, it's a fantastic series. Go watch it. Yeah, really good. All right, let's get her out of here. Let's check out Reva. I'm just glad we finally have more Inquisitors, and I'm glad that these came out way earlier than we initially thought, because originally when these were announced at Celebration in Anaheim, we weren't supposed to be getting any of the Obi-Wan figures until 2023, but they all just about came out pretty early, or at least a lot of them did. I'm just glad we have more than one now. Oh, and she's got cloth goods. That's nice. Oh, you guys know I like cloth goods. All right. So here she is. They actually got that face sculpt down really well. That face sculpt, they nailed it. Here she is, whole new mold, all new figure. She comes with 3 lightsabers. She comes with the 2 halves, because hers could split in half. It didn't get broken in half, it could just split in half. So she comes with 2 halves of her Inquisitor hilt. She comes with just a half-ring version configuration of her Inquisitor hilt, which does, okay, so it will peg onto the belt. You can, of course, remove the lightsaber blades, like you can from pretty much every Black Series lightsaber, except for Kylo's. Well, not the first Kylo, but most of them. You can plug that onto her holster there on the side, or holster it onto her belt by plugging it into the side of her belt on the side right there. Which, that looks pretty good. I like that she has a molded Imperial cog on her right shoulder. There's some other pretty cool details like these little silver brackets there, the belt, the little light on the side of the belt. Yeah, overall an awesome figure. For comparison, here she is next to the second sister Inquisitor, the first Black Series Inquisitor figure we ever got, despite them being around for almost 10 years now in Star Wars canon. So now we've got 2 and 3. Now we're just waiting on number 1, which is the Grand Inquisitor, 4th sister, and 5th brother to come out. And then, of course, hopefully the rest eventually. because there's a lot of awesome Inquisitor characters from over Star Wars canon. Now, was she as cool as a villain as Second Sister? No. Second Sister, I think, was a much cooler Inquisitor than Third Sister, but like I said, she was a pretty good villain. Definitely didn't measure up to Vader, which was nice. I mean, keep in mind, this was definitely a character meant to be a antagonistic and, in a sense, an annoying kind of villain, and she very much was. But her whole role was to tee up something bigger, which, of course, was Vader. She was meant to tee up Vader. She was meant to set up Vader for other things in that series, and I feel like she filled that role rather remarkably, because we know she's not around later in the Star Wars saga, and we know that she's not going to amount to much bigger, so that's kind of the problem with the character, because creatively, since they set it in such a specific point in time in Star Wars, it's really hard to do anything big and grand with such a character like this. But like I said, I don't want to get into it too much, other than how much I've gotten into it today. Fully articulated head is on a ball joint. Fully articulated shoulders. Those shoulder pads are individually articulated independent of the figure. Single jointed elbows, wrist joints, waist, hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees, and ankle joints. Overall, again, a really cool figure. I can't wait to see how the other Inquisitors turn out in person, honestly. But overall, I think it's a pretty awesome figure, and I'm pretty glad we finally got her. And I'm glad that she was in a pretty early set of figures for the Kenobi set of figures, because it would have been weird if we had to wait a good while for her Kenobi. I'm glad we got Vader quickly too, but we've got lots of Vaders in Black Series. I feel like we could have pushed Vader back a little bit and put forward one of the other Inquisitors or other original characters from the series that we hadn't gotten before. But overall, I think the figure assortment is pretty cool so far. I can't wait to see who they do next, because there's still some other cool characters that have yet to be announced coming out in Black Series. So anyway, what do you guys think? Did you like Reva? Did you not like Reva? Again, not a huge fan of Reva personally. I think she was a good villain. I think she was pretty well written overall. Again, she's very much a bigger picture type character, where she's a small piece of a very large puzzle. She's not meant to be in the spotlight so much as or more than she really was. But overall, I think she was a pretty well done villain. Again, she wasn't intended to be a super likable villain. She was supposed to be a villain that's supposed to stir emotion and make you feel excited when you see Vader doing Vader stuff. That's her purpose. She's there to make you excited for the bigger villain. And like I said, I feel like she served that well. But what do you think? Was this a figure you were looking forward to, or is this one you're going to probably pass on? I'm pretty happy about the cloth goods. I hope we see more cloth goods with some of the other upcoming Inquisitors, at least the ones that would have cloth goods. It's kind of a shame that for the cape of Second Sister we didn't get cloth goods, which is why I display her with just her shoulder pads, because the cape she came with is terrible. So I'm glad they improved on that with Reva here at least. So there we go. Stay tuned for more, guys. We do all kinds of different reviews here on rebelscum.com all the time. Stay tuned for more awesome content other than our reviews. On our website, we post something new every single day, including articles and stuff too. So make sure you're checking out some of that other stuff. Like and subscribe. Follow us on social media. Make sure you go to rebelscumshop.com for all kinds of awesome swag and merch. And that's it for today, guys. So we'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you, you Rebel Scum.